When someone with strong narcissistic traits pushes an empath too far, something unexpected can happen. The very person who spent so much time understanding everyone else finally starts understanding themselves. If you're someone who feels deeply, notices changes in people's moods, and naturally wants to help others through difficult moments, your empathy can be a beautiful strength. But without healthy boundaries, that same quality can leave you carrying emotions and problems that were never yours to carry. Many highly empathetic people grow up believing they have to keep everyone happy, solve problems, or become the person others depend on. So when they enter a difficult relationship, they may explain away hurtful behavior instead of recognizing how it affects them. They think, maybe this person is struggling. Maybe their past explains it. Maybe if I love them enough, they'll change. And that mindset can keep someone stuck for far too long. In a relationship with someone who has strong narcissistic traits, the empath may eventually feel emotionally exhausted. Their concerns may be dismissed, their reactions questioned, and their desire to create peace turned into another responsibility. The more they try to understand, the more they may lose touch with what they actually need. But eventually, there can be a turning point. The empath begins to realize that understanding someone does not mean tolerating everything they do. Compassion does not require self-abandonment. And loving someone does not mean becoming responsible for their choices, emotions, or personal growth. That realization changes everything. Instead of asking, "How can I help this person?" they begin asking, "How is this relationship affecting me?" Instead of constantly explaining someone else's behavior, they start paying attention to patterns. Instead of chasing approval, they begin protecting their peace. And instead of feeling guilty for having boundaries, they understand that boundaries are a form of self-respect. This is where the healed empath becomes very different from the person they were before. Their empathy doesn't disappear. Their heart doesn't become cold. They simply stop giving unlimited access to people who repeatedly disregard their well-being. They learn to separate their emotions from someone else's emotions. They become more comfortable saying no. They stop believing that every wounded person needs to be rescued by them. Most importantly, they begin directing some of that compassion inward. And that's the part a person with strong narcissistic traits may not expect. The empath who once reacted, explained, chased, apologized, and tried endlessly to make things work may eventually become calm, clear, and emotionally independent. Not because they want revenge, not because they want to hurt anyone, but because they finally understand themselves. When you stop trying to prove your worth to someone else, their approval loses its power over you. When you stop accepting responsibility for another person's behavior, you regain your energy. And when you learn to protect your emotional space, your empathy becomes a strength rather than something others can easily exploit. So if you've ever found yourself constantly trying to fix relationships while forgetting yourself, take a moment to reflect. You can care without carrying everything. You can understand someone's pain without excusing their behavior. You can love people while still choosing distance. And you can be deeply compassionate without abandoning yourself. Sometimes being pushed too far becomes the moment you finally turn your healing inward. And when that happens, you don't lose your empathy. You learn how to use it wisely. If this message resonated with you, remember that protecting your peace isn't selfish. It's part of becoming emotionally stronger and more aware. Take care of yourself, honor your boundaries, and never forget that your well-being matters too.